Welcome to the Whole Lotta Woman podcast, where we explore, explain, and discuss what makes us a whole lot of women in today's society. I created the Whole Lotta Woman brand to embrace the four traits that I feel make someone a whole lot of woman in today's world, and those are beauty, brain, strength, and standards. We'll be covering a variety of topics from relationships to real estate. If you would like to join this sisterhood, please subscribe, share with a friend, and stay tuned for more.
I won't be defined, stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of. I've been refined, beauty's divine. All things in God's time. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman.
Welcome to the Live Narc Free series. I'm your host, Nikita Chantel.
And this is Joy Larkin, co-host.
And today we are going to be discussing borderline personality disorder, sociopaths, psychopaths, and other type of narcissists to look out for, like overt, covert narcissists, malignant narcissists, and somatic narcissists, and even discuss how people may become narcissists. Okay.
Definitely, yes.
All right. And so, Joy, where do you want to start?
Yeah, I guess we can just kind of start with the different types of personality disorders that people can just be aware of and knowledgeable about, so that way they can be looking out for what to expect potentially.
Right.
So yeah, I guess we can start with the borderline personality disorder. Is basically a person who has unstable moods, unstable behaviors, and unstable relationships. I actually, unfortunately, did have the pleasure of meeting a person that had borderline personality disorder at work. But the good thing is that I only dated him for about 4 months, and it didn't go much long.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was definitely toxic and unhealthy. So, but that was back in 2016, many years ago.
So how do they act?
With them, they're very they like to get attached to you, kind of like how the narcissist does. So they can do the love bombing in the beginning, but with them, they kind of harm themselves. They cut themselves sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they're very destructive, they're self-destructive type of individuals. But also, they try to abandon you before you can abandon them. So they have that sort of phobia of they don't want to be abandoned, and a lot of that stems from their childhood, because they were probably hurt, neglected, and rejected by their parents. So
are those the ones that if you break up with them first, they'll love bomb you to get you back just to break up with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the ones. I know it's crazy, but that's how they are. And the one that I dealt with, he actually posted a picture up of this. I guess it was his new victim, and he was flaunting her around. And I guess in a sense, he was trying to get back at me. And it did hurt. It did. But I think he only reached back out to me one time. But then other than that, it was pretty much done. And I think he knew that too. So.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then you also have people who are sociopaths. Yeah, this is a common thing. So this is basically a person that has extreme antisocial attitudes and behaviors, and a lot of them, they could lack a conscience. All right. And then so you also have psychopaths, which is really probably crazy or terrifying to hear, so I don't want to scare anybody, but
yeah, they're not all Michael Myers.
No.
Right.
I mean, you do have some of those out there,
Yeah.
It is a reality for a few, but I mean, it's it's rare, but again, they're out there. But these people have chronic mental disorders with abnormal or violent social behaviors, and this person is they're unstable, and they're very aggressive as well. So yeah, you do want to be mindful and careful of that. And again, if you are dealing with any of these type of people, make sure that you do reach out for help, reach out for support. Don't feel like you're alone,
Right. Is that the dark triad?
Yeah, the dark triad. Yep.
Okay, and dark triad, y'all, is for people who possess all three of those personality
Mm-hmm. All
disorders.
three. Yep.
So you get in the worst of the
The worst
worst.
of the worst. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
just really be careful with that. So now I guess we can kind of go into the different types of narcissism. And actually some of these that I'm going to read to you, this is something that I was just a little bit unfamiliar with because I have dealt with covert narcissists and somatic narcissists myself. And actually a latest one is malignant one, but there's actually a few others.
Okay.
So I guess this is a little lesson for y'all. So, but anyway, so the overt narcissists are the ones that are very loud, they're arrogant, they're insensitive to the needs of others, and they're always thirsty for like compliments. And, you know, you can kind of recognize these individuals is because they kind of show up big in the room. It's like the spotlight's on them. They're like, hey, look at me. You know, just
like the
very
Gretchen Wiener.
Yeah,
Girls.
yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I actually I saw some clips of the Mean Girls movie on my phone. I don't know, that's kind of random, but anyway.
That's my movie girl.
You like the Mean Girls?
I was like, I don't know why. I was like, because I like Mean Girls because I saw her during the time where I was staying with my boyfriend at the time. And all he had was boy movies. And we had that one girl movie. And I used to wear Mean Girls out, boy.
Oh, man.
That's why I got into it.
That's funny. Okay, so the next one is covert narcissism, which I'm very familiar with because, again, I have dealt with individuals that were covert narcissists. So these individuals are highly sensitive to criticism. They're passive aggressive, and they like to put not only others down, but they do put themselves down too, as well. So they like kind of look down on themselves from time to time. So
that's how you don't know they're narcissists because they're not bigging
yes,
themselves up all the time. They're the victim
right,
friend.
correct. Yeah, it's very subtle and sneaky, you know. And so also they can be shy and withdrawn. That can be their nature. So like when you meet them, they may not say hi to you. They could be very standoffish. You're just like, oh, what's wrong with that person? You know, they very like keep you at an arm's length, you know, type of thing. And then this person too, they have feelings of like depression, anxiety, and emptiness. And these people also hold grudges and they have feelings of envy a lot. They envy other people. Okay, so you have that going on. And so now this is actually something that I have learned myself, but I feel like I have dealt with this or, you know, so I've been in contact with these individuals. So it's a communal narcissist or communal narcissism. So what these people do is they present themselves as the most helpful person that he or she knows.
I know this.
Yeah.
All too well.
Yes. And so also this person can present themselves to be the most caring person in their social surroundings and extraordinary trustworthy. So that's how they can present themselves, right?
Yeah, I had one. I think I was calling her a covert because I was like, she was so angelic, holier than thou, but she was sneaky.
Yeah, you have a lot of like preachers or, you know, religious teachers that can come off as a communal narcissist. So
yeah.
But luckily I've never had that experience, but I know others that have, and can be hurtful, you know.
Yeah.
And it does involve a lot of church hurt. Like people can get hurt in church. I know I did a couple times. Maybe that could be for another topic, but you know, or another episode.
Yeah, we definitely gonna cover that.
Yeah, church hurt. So, and then the next type of narcissist is the antagonist narcissist. This is something that I am learning about myself now. So this is a type of overt narcissism, this sort of narcissistic type of individual. So basically the focus with this antagonist person is they focus on rivalry and competition. So, you know, they have a lot of arrogance and they have the tendency to take advantage of others. So yeah, you have that going on. And then the next one is a malignant narcissist. And I have had interaction with a malignant narcissist myself, which is pretty scary. But basically this person is highly sensitive. Excuse me. Well, not highly sensitive. They're highly abusive. My apologies. Yeah, they're highly abusive. They get a sense of satisfaction of hurting others, and they may manipulate people or lie to gain money, acclaim, and other things that they desire. So that's a malignant narcissist. And also the malignant narcissist too can have certain traits of an antisocial personality as well. Just a heads up.
Okay.
All right. And then the next type of narcissist, I think you mentioned, Nikita, you wanted to know about the somatic narcissist.
Yes.
So my aunt, I do believe that she was half covert, half somatic narcissist. But basically what these somatic narcissists do is they focus and they're obsessed with their physical appearance, and their sexual attractiveness, right? Yeah, it's interesting because I remember too, my aunt, she would really focus on like how her looks was like. She ended up getting surgery on her neck because she said that her chin was like moving around like it was flabby or whatever. Yeah, and she would like always be comparing her looks to me all the time and like comparing her.
The ones that's jealous of their daughters.
Yes, it's so scary. So scary.
Are those the ones you think they'd be like, okay, so when because they're all focused on looks and sexuality, and they bring that man in the house, and then the man tries their daughter, and it turns into trying to take my man.
Yes.
It's a competition. It's like, Mama, I don't want him. Okay.
It's scary. Okay. Yeah. And then not only that, but they overvalue and they spend a lot of time and money on their appearance, which, I told you, like, because my aunt, when she basically got plastic surgery. And it did cost quite a bit, but it's like, and the thing about that, it's like, hey, if you want to get plastic surgery, that's your choice, but with the somatic narcissists, they're like literally obsessed with it. It's like,
it'll never be enough.
Yeah, like it's always something, and they're always going to be complaining and always going to be comparing. It's like a big competition for them.
I was just about to say, I was like, I cannot be around somebody who's always going to be comparing. It's always competition.
I'm telling you,
because they want you to look a certain way, but never better than them.
Oh my God!
You probably got to look a certain way to hang with them. But yeah. But you can't look better. No.
Right.
If I got my chin done, you can't go get your breast done now.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys, just things to be aware of, because again, we're out there in the world and many people can come off as normal, but once you start to get to know them, these people will start to reveal themselves. And so, if any of these type of traits or characteristics is in somebody that you are dealing with, just be mindful, and you just want to like put some distance between you and that person,
Yep. Or don't continue to build the bond that y'all might be working on.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, everybody's normal until you show me you're not. And if I feel like I have to deal with you in a different way than other normal friends, there's something about you that I got to watch out for.
Right.
Because if my other friends ain't making slick comments or doing this comparison or jealousy or making me feel weird, I'm not bringing a new person in that's going to do all that and cause all that ruckus.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree. So yes, I guess, Nikita, we can kind of talk more so about red flags in regards to relationships, which you can look out for, and you can chime in and let me know what you think too.
Okay.
But some of the red flags that I have learned to be aware of when it comes to dating, relationships, and even marriage too. Like sometimes you could have red flags in marriage because maybe the person put on a mask and they would hit their true selves. But anyway, some red flags can be is that, potentially this person can't let go of the past, or maybe they can't let go of an ex. Potentially, maybe this person could have different episodes where they may lash out onto you, or they may raise their voice, or they may get upset easily at like the slightest, smallest thing,
Right.
Also, yeah. And so there's also a person that could be emotionally unavailable, And then, a person could be negative. Now, I know like sometimes we all may have our down days, but it's like if they're constantly negative, like every single time, very like pessimistic, then it's like,
I cannot deal with a person like that.
I know, right?
I cannot.
Oh my God. It's so just like Debbie Downer, like, come on, like we're alive, we're breathing. It's like we have another chance to make it better. It's not all doom and gloom,
Right.
like, So yeah, you do just want to be careful of that, because the other thing about when a person is negative, they can drain your energy, and you need your energy in order for you to be productive in your everyday life. And so if you have someone that's constantly just bringing you all this drama and chaos, then it's like you can't live up to your fullest, or you can't do or be productive as much as you want to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to do, you know?
Right.
So just be careful on that. And then the other thing is, and I thought about this, is that this person could mistreat strangers, and they may mistreat family members, and you may think like, oh well, they never like mistreated me, but you may see them mistreating like a waitress or yelling,
Oh,
you know, that
yes,
type of stuff.
very much,
It's
yeah. Or
crazy.
rude to
Yeah.
their mama, but saying because their mama was this type of way back in the day, and that's why they
Mm-hmm.
treat her like that now.
Yeah.
And that'll show you they might have an issue with women too if they treat their mom a certain
Mm-hmm.
kind of way.
Right, because at the end of the day, they're gonna turn that on to you.
Yep, yep.
You know.
It's in them. If they don't respect their mama, they don't respect you. They
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Long
that's
as stuff
true.
is good, you'll have your respect. But as soon as you go
Mm-hmm.
against what they want, it's gonna be a whole different person, and you're gonna be surprised. Even though you done saw this person show themselves in front of you to their mama, you just never thought it'd be you.
Right.
And I was like, the older I get, I take I take that out my mind. Oh, I don't think that can happen to me. You know, when you're young and you live in life, you think certain stuff will just never happen to you
Mm-hmm.
until it happens to you, and you get old, and it's like, girl, it can happen to
Yes.
anybody. It can definitely
Mm-hmm.
happen to anyone.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I just want to throw in, because I said this in my last like just regular whole lot of woman episode. I said, don't get so caught up on making sure this person is different than the last that you're not seeing their red flags.
Yeah.
Because, you
Yeah.
know, we get so caught up in making sure John ain't like Daryl, we don't realize John got his own bag of problems.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. So I mean, don't compare like your past relationships to this new person. But you know, if they are showing you red flags, like trust that, like believe it, you know,
Yeah. Trust your gut.
trust your
And
gut. Yeah.
don't think that you can just try to fix it, or, fix them and help
Yes.
them through it. Girl, get out
Correct.
in the beginning when
Get
it's easier.
out.
Because
Oh my
after you
God.
locked in, it's going to be too hard. Once the love bombing, you start believing the love bombing and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
it's gonna be it's gonna be 3-4 years for you actually can get out. 10 years maybe.
10 years. Yeah. And I honestly, Nikita, I wish somebody would have told me that. Seriously, like, I mean, you know, you can't change a person, you know, like, you know, if they showing you who they are, it's like, believe them, and you can't fix them.
Right.
It's not our job to fix them. It's their job to fix themselves. And if they are not fixed, or in a way, or treating you or behaving in a way that you want, it's just like that they're showing you who they are.
And it don't
You
have to
know,
be. You don't have to give somebody 3 strikes, because it's
it's
one
the first
thing.
time it's
Yeah,
out.
because
Yeah.
as a woman, we be like, okay, well, I'm gonna give them 3. Like, how we start justifying your right to stay
Yes.
around, and it's
Correct.
like, it's one thing if he gonna hit them 3 strikes in the first month and you get out, but
Mm-hmm.
3 strikes could last over 5 years, and you're locked in 5 years.
Oh
Like,
my
yeah,
God.
that
Yeah.
first strike, and then want another strike for another 2 years. Think about all the stuff that's going on in between. You done had a baby, you done fell in love, y'all done talked about marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
when he does it again, it's more room for you to want to forgive, because you painted a future with this person by this time.
Right. That's true.
I was like, them red flags, boy. Them red
Yeah,
flags.
absolutely. And then, you know, and people do this in general. So, you know, but for me, I noticed, and even this is within family, but gossip, people that gossip a lot. Now, again, I know that people do chat and talk from time to time, but like if it's just always gossip, like,
And only.
yeah, like, and it's just negative, and it's just like, you know, you're not getting anything out of it. It's just like, for what? Like, why? You know? And so, you know, that to me is a red flag. And then, you know, just drama filled. They just love drama. You know, this is not a reality TV show.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's just,
And
come
people
on.
that look down on people and compare themselves, like, I'm comparing myself to you so I can big myself up all the
I
time.
hate that. I
Like,
really do. I
it's the worst.
And I honestly, I don't know if that's a pet peeve for me, but I'm just like, why? Like, I mean, we all have our own lives, and we're all on our own journey. It's just like, I'm not here to be like you. You're not here to be like me. We just we're just here on this earth living our lives. It's like there should be no reason to compare or to compete. But I do get it, because I mean, I used to do that like when I was younger, but I think social media does have a lot to do with it, because a lot of times social media is really a facade, because people would only post like their good times, or like when they're really happy or whatever. But some people could post like when they're sad too. Some people might, come on there and, do different types of things. But I guess the end of it is just try not to compare yourself to others. And then how you can not do that is to focus on your own self.
Right.
Focus on what you're doing.
Look at your own plate.
Yeah. All right. And then, so the last two I wanted to share with you guys before we go is a person that lies, like a pathological liar. So like if they lie one time, that don't mean that they're not going to lie again.
Right.
So.
And especially, I can't stand a voluntary lie. Like, I ain't even ask you a question and you lied. You just voluntarily lied.
Right.
Like, it's one thing if I ask you something, but you just out here throwing them out. Like, no.
And the thing is, as I understand, like, nobody's perfect. Like, we're all sinners. Like, sometimes we may tell a white lie, but I'm saying as far as like relationship, it's like somebody you trust and like, you depend on them in some way. And then, or like, let's say the lie is like maybe they cheated or whatever, or they shared something with someone and you didn't want them to, or they overstepped a boundary in some way. It's like, that has to be a deal breaker, because like they are ruining the trust in that relationship,
right?
And so without trust, it's like, why are we here? What are we doing? So, and then the last two is just a person that could behave in an unattached way. Like they could be very like nonchalant. They could behave as if they don't care. And some people may see that as a challenge. They're like, oh, they don't care about me. I want to try to get them to care. But sometimes it's like they really don't care. They
just don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So you really just want to like literally listen. It's not just listening to a person, but it's like focus on their actions, because people can talk. Like that's one thing that I've learned, and that's a mistake. Many mistakes that I've made in the past.
Crazy,
yeah. Especially for people that are players and stuff, they talk really, really, really good game. But at the end of the day, their actions is actually who they are. That speaks louder than what they say,
Yep. And I've grown to follow actions more too.
Yes.
It's like that talk sound good.
It sounds good.
When they
it looks good.
It's nothing, Because now you still got all this talk in your head.
Yeah.
But you said.
Right.
You said. It's like, girl, but what did he do? What did he do?
Yes. And so the last thing I just wanted to share with you guys, a red flag just to be mindful of, is a person is showing you signs of being non-committal. And you just want to remember that this is who they are. They're not going to necessarily change for you. They're not going to stop being non-committal for you. They have to do it from within, and if they're showing those signs that they don't want to be committed to you, then believe it. You're going to have to accept it and, unfortunately move on,
Yeah.
So just go ahead.
Oh, and I was just going to say, I just thought of like a celebrity comparison of that. I just watched an interview with one of Nick Cannon baby mamas, but it was like one of the first one. It was after Mariah Carey, but like not like the 9th or 10th. But she was saying that that's how I guess her and Nick ended up in this situation. She was like, he always said that after he had been married, he was like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be committed. I've been married before. And she was like, she always took that into consideration. So when they were dealing with each other, she said, because he said that so much, and she was a woman who listens and, believes and watches actions. She was like, she thought they was just gonna be sleeping together, to be honest. It was just a fun thing until she said it to him one day, like, well, this all this is. And he was like, well, no, what do you mean? And I said, see, that's that lover boy love bomb and stuff. Because she said it's one thing. She understood that they were not together. She understood that he's gonna have other women. She said she didn't know it was gonna go to the depths that he's went to. Like, okay, I didn't know you was gonna get to 10 kids. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I was cool with it being 3 or 4 of us, because you can afford 3 or 4 women. You're Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
And she had came out of a place where she didn't want to be committed either. So it's like, but that non-committal guy is like, you can, even when you join in and be like, okay, yeah, I don't want commitment too, you don't know how far he gonna go with that thing. Like,
Right,
you really don't.
right.
Like, no, I'm gonna show you non-commitment. Now, you thought, because even when we sit there and we be like, oh, I'm agree to these terms, in our mind, we agreeing to you committing to 3 girls, because that's still a
Mhm.
commitment. Like, I'm cool
Mhm.
with 3. But he like,
Yeah,
no, when I say I ain't committed, I ain't committed. I'm doing whatever. I'm 10,
man.
15 down the road.
Woo.
So it's like men are so extreme. Like, that's why I said it, because it's like what we have in our mind of what we be accepting, men gonna take it 10 times further than that. You
Mhm.
can't accept the side chick if you ain't gonna accept the side baby. You know?
Okay. Yeah, no,
So,
that's true. And you know what's funny, Nikita? I remember like when I was dealing with my narcissist, the male narc, he basically like we had been dating and stuff and cuddling and doing all that stuff. But like he basically asked me if I wanted to be his side chick. That was essentially what he was asking me. And I'm thinking like if I would have settled for that, like
mm-hmm.
how that would have made me feel. And at that time I was young. I was like, I think I was 21. And even then I knew I was like, no, that's not right, you know?
Yeah, you'd have been the lady popping up at the
Yeah,
wedding.
I'm like,
You was at my house last
no, no
night.
way.
Men are crazy.
They are, and I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them, because I think we do outnumber them. I think is it like 1 to 3? Is it
Yeah,
1 to every 1
depending on
man?
what city you in, it might be 1 to 6, it might be one to
Yeah.
eight,
Oh my
depending on
god.
where you live.
Yeah. So I mean, it's growing. I think that number is growing. Yeah, it's probably like 1 to 6
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so men, not all, because there's some men out there that are very committal and they are good guys out there. So I'm not
My man. Say no.
right. Okay, so that gives people hope.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's a diamond in the rough. Like, I've never met nobody like him. Like,
Wow.
it's not like I had one of him back in the day and we broke up or it just didn't work out or I missed out.
Hmm.
Like, no, I had to go through some pookies to get to him.
She said
So
Pookie.
yeah, yeah. And then the thing is, it's like, it's also the woman, because it's like
The women too. Yeah.
yeah, because it's like, now I know the qualities that he possessed, but I also know my boyfriend got 4 kids, and some people would turn away right at that,
Oh.
just hearing that.
Okay.
But he's an active father, he's a good dad, he's involved, his kids are his priority over me, so
Okay.
instead of turning my nose up at 4 kids, and I would have missed out on a whole good man, I would have been back with these dudes with no kids and cheating on me. you know
Right.
And the thing is, I listened to him
Man.
and his actions, but when we were dating before we started going together, though, he had told me he had his player stages. That's when he was making the 4 kids, and
Mm.
but to me, he was already in a settled space where he no longer was a player anymore. So that's
Okay.
why I wasn't meeting a player. You know what I mean? I just met a grown
Right.
man with 4 kids
Right.
that was taking care of me. So when he tells me about his player days, it's so funny to me because it's so different in comparison to who he is to me and who
Mhm.
he is today. He was like, yeah, he said, you grow up, you change. He said he also learned lessons from other people relationships. He said it's one thing, you doing wrong and stuff like that. He said, but I saw other people relationships and I took the good from it and I took the bad from it. Even down
Mhm.
to, if we go to a get together, you
Mhm.
know how some dudes, the men go off here and the women go off over here and the man ain't paying you no attention the whole time. Like, he'll balance it out. Like, he'll go out there with the boys, he'll come chill with me. Like, it's just, I've never had that before, because I've
Wow.
had the dudes that, oh, it's my boys, and you need to understand because whatever I need to understand. You know what I mean? Like, so
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
is it's good people out there, and yes, watch their actions over their words. You can
Yes.
hear it
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
what made the difference with him. But the only reason I can appreciate him is because I went through all this other stuff of talk game that didn't deliver. So once
Yeah.
once I got a man that he more so don't even talk about what he gonna do, he'll just do it.
Oh, I love
Like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or if he be like,
Mhm.
oh, what you say you want it for this? It's just like, oh, I mentioned it and I wanted you to get it, but appreciate it. Like, you listen to
Right.
me.
Right. Mhm.
So he don't hype me up on a whole bunch of words and then I can't deliver for the XYZ. So if it's to the point where if I ask him, babe, let's plan a trip or something, he'd be like, well, I don't know, babe. I gotta, we got this, and this coming up. He's not painting a fake picture. Yeah, we're gonna go on a cruise and we're gonna get engaged on the cruise and we're gonna do this and spend all this money. And then when it come down to it, be like, oh, I don't even like water.
Oh my God.
People, men will hype you up just to bring you down.
Yes.
Like,
oh my
so
God.
how was we gonna go to Africa and Paris if you don't want to get on the plane? Like, you ain't tell me that part you was scared of flying. You told me that we was going to the Eiffel Tower. How you thought we was gonna get there?
Right.
So yeah, lady, red flags. That's all. Yeah. And like I was thinking about the little love bomb and that building hope. Like, ladies, the red flags, okay, for example, a red flag of this about to be some BS. I don't know what category I'm gonna put you in yet. But one day I was chilling with a dude. It was our first time hanging out, and we in my car, and he didn't, while on this ride, you done promised to get my windows tinted. You done promised to get my car looked at, and something else that you gonna take care of me. And he literally said, stick with me. I have you right. And all I could think of is, oh, you one of them. Because why do you want to provide all this to me? This is our first time chilling. We ain't talked for a long period of time. You don't know me like that to even want to give me the world. So somebody that want to give you the world in the first 10 minutes of meeting you or the first chill, it's something wrong with that person, or they're trying to manipulate you. They trying to paint a picture in your head. Yep. So you gonna get all wrapped up in, now I gotta stick around because he said he gonna get my windows tinted. Girl, if you don't go and get out of here and save your daggone little money and get them windows tinted. I'm like, girl, you get a crackhead to tint the windows, nigga. Like, don't be sticking around for that.
Oh my God.
That's the kind of stuff they do. Like, I've had dudes tell me, yeah, I like taking my girls on shopping sprees and this, that, and the other. And if you a materialistic type of girl, that's gonna lock you in. Now you waiting for a shopping spree, and it's been 4 years. He done went through taxes, your taxes. You ain't spent nothing. And you done gave him your paycheck. He done flipped it and lost it and everything. You still waiting on a shopping spree.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you had to deal with coworkers, like female narcissist coworkers and stuff like that? Like, you know how you start off cool, oh, let's go get lunch, and then they get weird. Like,
like I had so I want to say it was like this manager supervisor. I would like to say she was like a covert narcissist to me, I would say, but they also claimed that she was racist because like where I worked at previously, it was like this plant, and we like basically put medicine prescriptions like in a box. That's literally like what we would do like for the full 8 hours, but then they would give us like other little activities. But long story short, this lady, she had transferred from the other side of the plant over to our side because they said like she had got dinged for being racist. And so like when she had came over to our side, she was very like shy and withdrawn, some of the traits with the narcissist.
To hold it back.
Yeah. But the thing about it, like when you look into her eyes, like you could just see like hate and evil. Like I felt that even like when I would just look at her. Evil eye. Yeah. And the thing about it, I wasn't the only person that said it. It was like other people was like, yeah, like she seems off, or like people wouldn't trust her. And she would only talk to like certain people, like certain managers and stuff like that. Mainly the white ones. But like, I don't know. I felt like she was definitely a narcissist. And the reason why I say that is because two things happened. I did mention this on the video that I did one time. But we was on a line and it got really, really busy. It was like a whole bunch of us. We had fun to a certain degree, but the work was kind of boring. But so I guess we wasn't producing as fast enough for the manager. And so she comes on the line and she was like, oh, you guys need to hurry up. It's so many of you. And, it's not that many boxes made, or it's not that much production. And then it was so funny. Like one of the girls, she was younger. And some of the younger kids, like they don't be caring. They just say whatever. And so like, she was like, oh, well, if we need to hurry up, then you need to come on the line and help us because, it's a lot of boxes in here or whatever like that. And then she turned around and looked and was like, just shocked, and she was
like, how dare this little girl talk to me like this?
But the thing about it though, narcissists are cowards anyway. And so, what she ended up doing though? She actually did come on the line and started helping us.
Oh, yeah, because you don't have no
Yeah.
comeback. Like, yeah.
Yeah, she
So when
literally go ahead.
they don't like to be confronted, because it's like, if I can bark, 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 and y'all do it, cool. But as soon as somebody bark back, it's like, oh,
Girl, like
they don't know how to take.
yeah, no, she literally looked at her and like gave her this stare, and then she just walked off, and then she brought somebody with her, and then they started helping us on the line. I thought that was hilarious. And
Yeah,
then,
like I
right.
said.
No, but the girl, she was, I mean, we all like looked at each other, but the one girl, she was like really, really bold. She was like, oh, well, you need to come on and help us, because I mean, it's obviously if we need help, you right there. Like, she
Yeah,
literally like,
with 2 free hands.
yeah, but the manager, she said it very bold, and I was thinking like, wow, like she really said that, and it was very mean. Like, how, she said it very aggressive, and it's like, wow. And any other supervisor would think like, oh, maybe I should help them, but she felt so entitled, and But the other thing was, it was kind of like a similar situation, but nobody really said nothing. I think she was already kind of like scared to like say something the next time. And so she automatically came on the line and just started like doing like little stuff to help us. But a lot of the times, narcissists like that, the covert ones, they only like do stuff because it might make them look good. It's not like they're doing it because they want to. They're doing it because they're like, oh, look, I'm being a good person, I'm helping out. But it's like, really, they don't care.
And I didn't understand it for the longest. Why the ex-friend of mine, I said, why do you keep volunteering for all these shifts and then stressing about it? Like, oh, they just overworking me, I'm just doing the best I can. And she didn't even tell. It's weird, because I knew she was volunteering for these shifts. She didn't tell our other friend she was volunteering for the shifts. So she was telling our other friend, like, they just working her to death. Like, I got to do 8 hours over here, and then sending me to another property, work 4 hours, and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, she was volunteering it to be a great help around it. So that's what you telling them. But then it's like, whoa, it's me. I got to do all this work. You are volunteer trying to be superwoman.
Right,
Like,
right.
you wanted oh, well, she's helping with this, she's helping with this. But then you coming to us like a victim, like, they just working me, to the point we was like, they got to be against the law at this point. Like, we really was saying it like, they can't do that. You need to quit that job. Like, no, girl, you was volunteering.
And
That's why you was working 62 hours a week instead of 40.
Dang, that's a lot of hours. And then, but going back to your question, on you were saying as far as friends, like, I don't, well, the only friend that I feel like, I don't know if she was a narcissist, but I think we had talked about this like a while back. But one of my friends that I grew up with, she was doing like, maybe we could do another episode for like how to identify narcissistic friends. But like,
yes, we definitely
she was doing things that was similar to me, and it was really weird. I want to say that for the next episode. But in regards to the work though, I did have people that would, I don't know, it was weird. Like, the one girl, her and I, we were cool, but then I guess she thought like the guys were being nice to me, whatever, and then she went
nice.
Yeah, it was weird. They was being nice to me, and they was like saying like, oh, hey, Joy. And then I guess she saw that the one guy, he took interest in me, and then she went out of her way and like had sexual relations with him.
Oh my God.
I was like, I mean,
it's like, girl, you probably don't even like him. You just wanted him not to like me.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, we can talk more about that next week. But I was just kind of like, it's cool, because my thing is, I didn't really like him like that. I mean, he was just a manager or whatever, and we talked, but I was actually dealing with someone at the time, so I wasn't really like even interested. But even if I was thinking like, well, dang, you just
hopped on it.
Yeah, I'm like, and then
but see, that's how they expose themselves.
I was like, dang, but as far as, but I guess that's been my relationships when it comes to like having friends at work, especially the female ones, is always more so like, I mean, we could be cool, but at the same time, it's just like, I have stuff like that happen,
Right. Yeah, we're gonna do an episode on coworkers and
like friends. Yeah,
stuff.
Man, that's different.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
So I guess we can kind of go into our last topic here, about how narcissists are made.
Oh, yes.
This is a pretty good one, because I guess sometimes some people can have empathy for narcissists, which I mean, I do to a certain degree, because I do understand how narcissists, they're made because, things have happened to them in their past. The only thing that separates them from us is that they decided not to work on themselves. Like they
Right.
allowed themselves to play the victim and stay a victim. And so that's just kind of like their coping mechanism for anybody else new coming into their life. So, they begin to mistreat them, they bully them or demean them because they're like, hey, don't get so close to me because I already been hurt. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. I'm gonna do you bad before you do me.
Right. And then you also have the other side of to where, it's the parenting styles, like however that child was brought up. So like if the child, if they had parents that were overprotective or neglectful, that can have an impact on them, or, a lack of warmth, or, or maybe they got everything that they wanted,
That golden child turns into the narcissist a lot of time because they were already triangulated against their siblings. And so they feel like they're superior. So they always get the good grades and they get all the accolades and stuff like that. So they go out into the world thinking the world's going to treat them like the golden child. And they have this entitlement and they are rudely awakened. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not. They just live life thinking that that's how they're supposed to be treated.
Yeah. And then a lot of times, some of them, they do acquire a lot, a lot of material stuff, or a lot of, it could be fame, it could be power, it could be
respect. A lot of successful narcissists.
Yeah. Right. And it's true.
Because you have to put yourself first to get to certain levels of success.
But the thing about it is that you don't want to do it to where, like how a narcissist does, where they exploit people and they mistreat people in the process of doing that, where they use that for their own personal gain. That's the difference between like, a narcissist success versus like a normal person's success.
Right.
Or maybe that could be another topic for us too. It's so many topics.
Yeah. I was like, it goes deep.
Yeah.
So the series will live. Because we got some stuff.
But yeah, those are kind of like how the narcissists are made. So it's like you have the vulnerable type of narcissist, where it's like it was based off of circumstances, like how they grew. And then, the other part was like the parenting style of how they were raised can determine if they feel entitled or if they feel like lack of confidence, or they can't handle criticism. So they kind of lash out on other people, and, they just kind of continue that cycle of abuse, basically. So.
Right.
So yeah, like I want to say, is there anything else that we need to chat about today? Or I feel like we went over a lot.
No, I think we did too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was like I said, next week we'll talk about like friends and coworkers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And if that wants to send a voice note or tell a story, you can have them do that for sure.
Absolutely, that sounds really good. That sounds good. So yeah, I want to say that's everything, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Please don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us, if you want further support. And I don't know, I think I did tell Nikita about the support group that I have, and I think you actually have a group too. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if you're listening, if you want support, reach out to Nikita, or you can reach out to me, either way. But yeah, hopefully that this was helpful to you guys and you can use this in your life, and to help you.
All right. And that concludes this week of Live Narc Free series. Thank you all for tuning in. And always remember, beauty, brain, strength, and standards all will make you a whole lot of woman.
I won't be defined. Stars are aligned. What's for me is mine. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of. I've been refined. Beauty's divine. All things in God's time. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. I'm a whole lot of woman. This for all my women, 'cause you're a whole lot of woman.